Hello students. Today in our topic of technical communication we are going to discuss about negotiation skills. Now if you haven't heard about what is negotiation, then what is the dictionary meaning of negotiation? It means that it is a process where two parties they discuss about something in order to get into an agreement. Generally, negotiation is done whenever any business deal has to be signed between two parties or when two parties have to work together or do something together. So today we are going to discuss the stages of negotiation, the types of negotiation and how to do the negotiation. There are three stages of negotiation. The first one is information exchange. So here both the parties they exchange the information about what they are able to offer and what are their own expectations at the end of the deal. The second stage of negotiation is discussion of alternatives. So after the first stage, now both of them they know about each other's requirements and what they can offer. But if some of the requirements are not met, they can always give different alternatives which they may have. And the third and the final stage is closing of the negotiation. So closing means the end of the negotiation. So the closing of the negotiation either happens with a deal signed or without signing the deal. It may be an agreement upon both the parties, or both the parties may say that okay, I don't think that I can come into the agreement with you, and so it's good that we don't do this particular deal together. Now there are five types of negotiation and it depends on different personality types. People with different personality types and different objectives, they use any one out of these styles or they may combine one or two styles together. So the first style of negotiation is accommodating. Now as the word suggests, both the parties try to accommodate each other's needs. This is done when the goal of both the parties is to maintain the relationship rather than their personal goals. They are interested in carrying on the business relationship for longer time rather than achieving the short-term goal. Accommodating style is a very positive and a friendly style of negotiation. The second type of negotiation or a style of negotiation is avoiding. Now, avoiding means either of the party has an avoiding nature. So they don't want to get into the confrontation of their own needs. Maybe their egos are so high that they don't want to say that what are their requirements. Or maybe they don't want to get into the discussion of negotiation. So they may quickly finish off the negotiation without even telling their own needs. So when someone uses the avoiding style, the negotiation finishes off very quickly, but the result may not be desirable. Either of the party will not be happy because of the deal and may go into resentment later on. The third style of negotiation is collaborating style, which is also called a win-win style. Now, collaborating style means both the parties are open to listen, but along with this, their goal is that they also get maximum gain out of this deal. So both of them try to find out each other's needs and both of them also openly discusses their own needs, and then they discuss many alternatives and come up to some solution or a decision where both the parties needs are fulfilled to the optimum level. So this is called a win-win situation where both the parties are happy with the deal. So collaborating style is the style which is always recommended for negotiation. Now the fourth style of negotiation is competing. Now competing means someone does negotiation just to prove their point. and just they want to be the last word. So they don't want to listen to you and they are rigid. They have already decided that whatever they think should happen. So competing style becomes a one-way style, and where the one person is dominating over the other. So in competing style, the person who is very submissive will feel a little regretful or resenting after the deal has been done because they are not happy with the final deal. The last type of negotiation is compromising style. Now, compromising style means the parties compromise. They compromise on whatever is there at hand. Even though their requirements are not meeting fully, they compromise. Now, why do they compromise? This happens because of lack of time and they quickly want the results to happen. So, when quickly results are required, then this compromising style of negotiation is used. But in the long run, they won't be happy with the final deal. How to do negotiation? So first of all, preparation is required. So preparation here means being clear about your own thoughts and your requirements. Also, you should be clear about how much you can give to the other party, and you should also be ready for each and every alternative which can happen for the particular deal. So if you are mentally prepared, then you will be clear that where you can draw the line and beyond that you cannot go. So this is how preparation is going to help you in negotiation. Second step of preparing for the negotiation is you must have a particular plan in hand. Now, plan means that you must prepare yourself mentally about the kinds of um, questions or the kinds of requirements that you will face in front of the other person, and you must assume or you must imagine that what kind of requirements the other person will come up with, and you must be ready with a plan that if the person will ask me A, then I will give this answer or I will be ready with this particular plan. If the person asks for B, then I will be ready for this particular plan or argument. So this is how you can plan out your negotiation perfectly. So you know exactly that in negotiation when a person is going to say this, we are going to give this particular answer. The third important point of negotiation is the body language. Yes, in all types of communication, body language is very important. So keep your body language very firm and confident. Do not show a body language which shows nervousness or low confidence. Otherwise, the other person will dominate you and you will end up making a deal with which you will not be happy. Carry a body language which is positive. So whatever we have learned till now about body language also applies in the negotiations. Fourth point is always go for win-win situation. Try to find out a solution which is good for both the parties. When you do this, then both the parties will be happy. Not only that, it will help you in the future also. And the last and the very important point is that at the end of all negotiations, particularly when you are doing a business deal with someone, always have a written agreement signed. If you don't have a written deal at the end of the negotiation, then later on in the future, you will not have anything to refer to. And in the times of conflicts, you will be left confused. So, in order to refer in the future and in order to avoid any kind of disputes or any kind of confusion, it is very important to make a written deal. So, these are the important things about negotiation. Now, let us understand what is the importance of critical and creative thinking in communication. Now, what is the meaning of critical thinking? Critical means thinking objectively or thinking with a lot of analysis, with a depth in analysis. So, why critical thinking is important and why it is important in communication? Now, when we think critically, We always think different aspects of a particular point, and we don't look at that point from one perspective. When we look at a point from one perspective only, then we end up communicating ineffectively. So, to communicate effectively and to work effectively, you must always think critically. Now, critical thinking involves objective thinking and not a subjective thinking. Now, objective thinking means you are keeping the goal in the mind. You are not thinking about your personal gains, but you are only keeping the goal in the mind. When there are no self interests, then it is called critical thinking. Now, when you are able to think about any situation and you are able to analyze it from all different points of views, then you will come up with the best solution. And when you have a best solution in your mind, you will also communicate in a better manner, and you will also be able to communicate clearly. Now, when you think critically, you will also become creative. So, that takes us to the next topic, which is creative thinking. Now, why creative thinking is important? Some people may say that creative thinking is important only in creative fields of art, maybe in the films, or if you want to become an author, or if you want to become a painter, the creative thinking is required. But that is not the case. Creative thinking is required in all fields. Why? Because all different problems that human beings face, they can be new. And if they are new, then they don't have any solutions in the past. That means you have to think something which is completely new, which is creative. So that is why creative thinking is important. You may also have heard about the phrase thinking out of the box. Now, what is the meaning of out of the box and how is this box formed? So, this box is formed of our limited thinking, which is formed because of our education, because of our beliefs, because of what we have learned from our parents, because of what we have learned from our teachers, our past experiences, and our surrounding. So, this is what we have gathered in life, and we only know what is there in the box. But there can also be things which is outside the box. This box only has our own experiences and learning, but there are other people who may have a completely different experience and a different learning and a different belief, and their point of view can also be taken into consideration. So, if we remain inside the box and only think according to our own beliefs and learnings and experiences, we end up bringing up the solutions which were already there in the world. We keep on repeating things if we don't think outside the box. So, it is very, very important to be creative. If we don't be creative, we cannot bring about solutions to our new problems in our environment, in our work life, or in the society. Another important point for being creative is that another aspect of the need of being creative is that everything can be better than what it is. So, the processes that you may be following in your organizations or the products that are already there in the market, they all can be improvised. But they can only be improvised if someone can think creatively and come up with something which is completely new. Now, why do people don't think very creative? Why normally we have very less people who think creatively? What are the reasons for that? So, for that, let us understand this concept of out of the box. When a person has to think creatively, the person will have to go out of the box. And when one goes out of the box, it is going out of the comfort zone, something which is unknown. Whatever is there inside the box is already known. It has proofs. All the scientific principles and all the theorems, they all are already proved by different scientists and mathematicians and all the scholarly people. They are already proven. But what is out of the box is not proven. And sometimes which is out of the box does not agree with something which is inside the box. It may be completely opposite to that particular principle which is inside the box already known to people. So that is why people usually think only in a manner in which everyone has thought till now and which they consider to be completely normal. If somebody is telling something which is completely opposite to what is there inside the box, then they will have to face a lot of criticism from the society. They will also have to work very hard to prove that. They will have to find out so many things, and they will also have to face the difficulties of going outside the comfort zone. So that is why people usually avoid thinking creatively. But in today's world, it is very important to think creatively because the world is moving very, very fast and we are advancing a lot. And in this advancing world, there are new things which are coming up, bringing new problems in the human world. So, for that, new problems, we require new solutions also. So, for that, we must think critically as well as creatively. So that's all about this chapter, that is technical communication.